we have our run ready, so we have Mageius with Macross Shooting Insight, a 1v1 rivals battle. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure Mageius will show us, so Mageius, take it away.
Well, considering we had some time to fill here, I guess y'all get to see a small tease of one of my submissions coming up for 6th. This is Macross Shooting Insight. It is the latest game in the Macross franchise. This will be a quick demonstration of the 1v1 rivals battles. There are 7 of them. After each one, we'll back out and choose a new character, but I guess we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go! So one of the nicest things about this is you get to hear some amazing music from the franchise, and Macross Shooting Insight is basically a hybrid of 3 different types of shmups. We have our side-scroller here. The nice thing is that, as I said, you also get to hear some of the very good music from the franchise. Don't worry, it's actually a mechanic in the game, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. But you'll see me quickly doing some dodge rolls here, there, and everywhere. Using our assist attack, because it's a very powerful attack on that one. Anyway, the character I'm currently using is Shin, who is the hero from Macross 0, which was one of the OVAs in the mid-2000s. And just like that, we're done the very first rival. Now, in this case, you can think of this like a 1v1 as a mini boss rush. And since it's 1v1, we have to go through each individual thing on that one. But we're going to skip submitting it to the leaderboards. One of the rare few times I actually can submit stuff to the leaderboards because of the way the game handles things. We'll be using Shin for the first few, and then we're going to be using Rick, aka the same Rick from Robotech, since he's DLC, as the second one for it. Now, the one nice thing about Shin, even though he does not have like the best attack, the fact that he is straight on his normal attacks makes him pretty good. He's got good actual power to damage output. We're going to go like this, use our dodge roll, use our missiles here to avoid some of the stuff. I would be going for boosting the attack, but the simple fact is that for these early ones, it is sometimes just easier to just use the fact that our missiles can be shot in 360 degrees to be able to quickly and efficiently get rid of our rivals. And just like that, we're down to 2 of them are down. Now, the one nice thing about Shooting Insight is it is essentially sort of a love letter to the franchise. And with the transforming X style of gameplay that you're all familiar with. Anyway, we're on to the 3rd, which, if you notice, star level on that one. This will be the first use of the Battleoid mode, which is essentially top-down. So think of it sort of like asteroids. Gotta avoid some of the attacks. Gotta loop around like that. Pop the assist attack again, because the fact of giving a Toho-style full screen clear on different styles of gameplay sort of does actually affect how much damage you can do. It also clears out all the enemy projectiles on screen. And just like that, we're done the 3rd of them. Sadly, I should take a bit more longer just so y'all get to listen to some of the amazing music. The estimate for this one being like 15 minutes is because in case I die. Oops, do not want to save a replay of it. But again, I'll give a shot at the first one for from Frontier before I switch over to Rick, and you'll understand why I said give it a shot first. Essentially, we want to use our missiles here to essentially avoid a lot of the attacks of that one. Avoiding some of the enemy attacks, using that one there, avoid attacks again. Essentially, this is the best way I can describe it, a mini boss rush style from a Toho setting, but it's 1v1 although you do not get to get full powerful stuff on it. Although the enemy does get their actual ability to transform, you sadly do not. And ouch! This said, I'll take the shot using Shin before teasing the rest of it. Again, you need to clear it with everything on that one for it, but I guess I will also showcase a few of the other characters on that one. We have Shin here, we have... do not ask me for the other characters' names from the rest of the franchise, as it's still in Japanese, however, it is getting an English port later in the year with an English translation. If you notice, our one hybrid shot character does get some nice stuff, but the fact is that it does not help as much as you would think, you know, for the triple shot style of gameplay. As you can just immediately see, like, even though we get some of the roll speeds, they're not as fast to roll. Figured I'd showcase a little bit of the characters on that one before. Let's just put it this way: Rick, who you just saw on screen during the loading screen, is kind of broken, and broken in a good way. Broken in a shmup sense. But we have like 3 different weapon, you know, styles. Like we have our runner, our third here, fourth here, which is just the giant single laser. You can see how each of them has stats on that one. I will show off one of our characters here, who is very annoying. And George, you might want to look away at this. Imagine trying to play
alternately, don't look away.
Very true. Very true. But what I mean is, imagine playing Toho when you have this to deal with for movement. For your shots. You try being very precise on that one. And, of course, you can just imagine just like how hard it is, and this is why, at present, I focus more on getting Shin to be very good within the normal any % run. But now that I've shown off a little bit, actually now we have a little bit of time left, and I'm slightly ahead of all the characters. I'll show off our others. More along the lines of just to showcase a little bit, because this is meant to be a teaser. And because also apparently we were far ahead for that one. Nicest thing is a giant laser for our person here, but very good missiles and very good speed and mobility. Also, fun fact, not all the attacks have hitboxes. Because for some reason, I think it's coded... The hitboxes are a little wonky on that one. Oops. Avoiding some of the attacks. That one. Each of the characters has their own unique strengths and weaknesses on that one, but... I mean, some of them are actually very good in some parts of the game, and the others are not as good. That one. As far as just like the top characters, especially on the in-game leaderboards, which do not judge via time, but just go for score, which I might add, yours truly here has first place for hard mode and very hard mode, but that's mainly because the way that it handles things is, well, not much healing. But I digress on that one. Anyway. Go like this here. Again, showcasing a little bit of the characters before I sort of destroy the remaining of it. I would be trying to avoid some of the attacks more, but it's sort of 1v1 on a very mobile boss, which is still kind of hard to avoid some of the attacks. Okay. I've been hinting at this, and you get to see the DLC character from Do You Remember Love, the first movie of Rick. I forget his Japanese name on that one, but also hopefully you're all enjoying this. But, okay, now it's time to go destroy every enemy on that one. See down here at the bottom where you see Rick's shot damage and lock on? He might not have the most attack. His missile damage is not that good, but he basically locks on to enemies like no one's business, so essentially we will be able to have the ability to target the enemy wherever they are on screen. And just start to melt them, just starting to melt their health away. And because he has enough HP, we really don't have to really dodge as much. And that's the next one down. So we have 3 left. All of them will go down pretty easily. Because star levels sort of don't mean as much as you'd think. That one because we are using Rick. Yeah. And we'll avoid the attacks here, avoid the fact that we have a lot of missiles in the center. Aim downwards, since basically we can just avoid the enemy attacks. Now each of the songs does have their own benefits to it. I know some of them, but not all of them. Although the enemies do have access to their transformations, we do not. And we'll quickly move down here and finish them off. Also, say hi to Lisa, Rick's wife in the future, at least for Robotech, is one of his girlfriend in the first one. No, wait, that was Min-Mei. Sorry, y'all. And don't need to save on that one. Should have gone offline to save on that one, but it still asks, so... Anyway, our opponent here, he is also one of the bosses in the actual game itself, although not as hard. But anyway, this is also one of the 360-degree style battles. In this case, we will be heavily using the fact of having 360-degree movement to avoid a lot more of the attacks. This is what I like to call dancing with the game, because this is more the jazzy style number. And I'm going to be quiet for a minute so I can avoid all the giant attacks. Luckily, this song is one of the only ways we actually get healing during it, so... And we're taking him down. So hopefully you're all also enjoying the the music. This game has some very good, amazing music. Just like a lot of other shmups. You notice down at the bottom, you're seeing me get memories on that one. That's unlockables for some of the gallery. And the reason why you don't see them all completed is because, honestly, you only get them for winning. Anyway, we're now on to our last one, which is Max, or Maximilian Sterling, one of the main characters and Rick's rival from the original Macross. He is also one of the more important characters from the franchise because of who his wife is. His wife being one of the Zentradi. Also, shoutouts to Min-Mei here, the very first idol from the first series. And also the fact of having... And also the fact that her music did tend to also break out into mainstream. Gotta avoid those missiles there. Use those there. I will get your heart emotes in chat, everybody, because the song is actually called Do You Remember Love?
You're fine. I've got you.
Okay. Ah,
There you
oops.
go.
Yeah. Luckily, should be able to finish this fast enough and like go just a second overboard. Not overboard. Overtime, but they said I had like 15 to 20, so. And killing a bit more time for y'all.
楽しかったですね。またやりましょう。指名されて光栄です。先輩楽しみですね。
But again, stretching it out just a teeny tiny bit more, so I do apologize all.
見くびらない方がいいですよ。
But I do say, do remember to tell those you love that you love them. I mean, after all, love is one of the main pillars of the franchise. We're tucking ourselves down in here to basically roll the attacks off screen.
危ないですね。
Position just here.
大丈夫ですか。
Roll away from the attacks. Ah, getting caught in like the not so good pattern.
まだまだこれからです。
Avoid those there.
援護する。
Pop that there. Ah! Sniped at the very end. I'll get it one last try here, and we should be able to get it. Out of 15 minutes forward and decided I should actually show off a little.
戦いましょ
Sorry, all.
う。旧式だから。見くびらない
Gonna
方がいい
do
です
this.
よ。
Line up. Position just so we can loop around, avoid some of the attacks. Now, the enemy patterns are a bit random on that one. There we go.
危ないですね。
So, in this case, it is all about just trying to avoid some things. Roll through the attacks. See if I can manage to snag at least one missile shot off of there. Now that Max is back.
まだまだ大丈夫です。まだ続けます。
Going to use that there. Position just so, and there we go, and that's time.
信じられないですね。
Well, to be fair, it would be screen closed, but I think if they need me to go, we can call it time there.
No, I believe we are good.
I know.
I would ask if there's any shout outs you'd like to give, but I also know you have a run coming up very soon.
Yeah. And it's the type of game where, like, I'd have offered the full run, but that takes about 45 to 50 minutes, give or take, for Deathless. And
指名されて光栄です。
to be honest, you're expected to once you see this game if you legitimately want to actually not use auto healing or give yourself extra health. By one CC, I mean one health bar with very little healing, and one life for each stage.
Can't wait to see this in Speedromizer 6, potentially.
Oh, this is why the rules state you're allowed to use the basic auto healing level. I mean, when the very first game update, after the day 1 patch, was to actually add a second level of auto healing. Does that say something about the devs knowing things? Okay. Yep. If you need me to...
So if you have any final messages you'd like to give before we throw this back to intermission,
I'll just say, stick around all. I'll be back in a little bit with Wing of Darkness, and DJ's basically going to learn the run on the fly during the marathon. I'm not joking. Anyway, until then, peace out all.